In a quiet, tree-lined town stood the Flower Pot, a bakery famous for more than just its pastries. The air always smelled of sugar and chocolate, drawing families and children to its welcoming window. But what truly set it apart was its promise of safety. Nut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free treats for all. For parents of children with allergies, the Flower Pot was a sanctuary. Julian Croft, the baker, was trusted for his meticulous care and understanding of food allergies. He listened, reassured, and made every customer feel safe. People traveled from neighboring towns, drawn by his reputation. Trust was the secret ingredient, more valuable than any rare spice. The bell above the door signaled another family placing their well-being in Julian's hands. For years, that trust seemed unbreakable. But sometimes the warmest places hide the coldest secrets. Behind the aroma of baking bread, a different story was rising. A story of betrayal and a crime that would shake the community. The trust that built the Flower Pot was about to be shattered. No one would see it coming. For millions, food labels are a matter of survival, not just information. For Sarah Jenkins, living with a severe peanut allergy, every meal was a calculated risk. She read every label, questioned every waiter, and carried epinephrine everywhere. Trust was rare, until she found the Flower Pot. Julian Croft's bakery became her safe haven. He showed her his nut-free prep area, his dedicated utensils, his careful sourcing. For the first time, Sarah could enjoy a brownie without fear. She trusted Julian completely, making weekly visits a cherished routine. She recommended the bakery to others, praising its safety. Julian wasn't just selling cupcakes, he was selling peace of mind. But trust, once given, can be weaponized. Sarah had no idea her faith in Julian would soon become her greatest vulnerability. The person she relied on for safety was about to become her biggest threat. The foundation of her security was about to crumble. In a world built on trust, betrayal can be deadly. The stage was set for a devastating act, and Sarah would never see it coming. The bond between baker and customer unraveled over something trivial, a parking spot. One busy Saturday, Sarah parked in Julian's unofficial space. Words were exchanged, tempers flared, and Sarah moved her car, thinking little of it. But Julian couldn't let it go. The public argument wounded his pride, festering into resentment. He saw Sarah not as a grateful customer, but as someone who had humiliated him. Each visit from her became a reminder of his perceived disrespect. The resentment grew, twisting his view of her. He began to fantasize about regaining control, about teaching her a lesson. He knew her vulnerability, her allergy. The trust she placed in him became a target, not a bond. The baker who once protected now plotted harm. Resentment had taken root, ready to bear poisonous fruit. The line between guardian and threat was about to vanish, and the consequences would be devastating. Julian's plan was chillingly simple: use Sarah's allergy against her. He chose her favorite, the nut-free chocolate brownie. After closing, he retrieved peanut butter, sliced open a brownie, and spread a hidden layer inside. He pressed it back together, making sure it looked untouched. The next day, he placed it among the safe brownies, marked with his trusted nut-free sticker. When Sarah arrived, he personally handed her the tainted treat. The sticker, once a symbol of safety, was now a lie. Julian had turned trust into a weapon. The protector had become the poisoner. All that remained was to watch his plan unfold. The stage was set for betrayal. Wednesday arrived and Sarah entered the Flower Pot as usual. She greeted Julian, unaware of the danger. He handed her the brownie, wrapped and labeled as always. In her car, she took a bite. Then panic set in. A strange taste, a tingling in her throat, and sudden fear. Her body reacted instantly, throat tightening, hives erupting. She fumbled for her epinephrine, injecting herself as her vision blurred. She dialed 911, gasping out, "Anaphylaxis. Peanut." Paramedics arrived just in time, administering a second dose and rushing her to the hospital. She survived, barely. Doctors said it was one of the worst reactions they'd seen. As she recovered, a chilling realization dawned. This was no accident. The contamination was too severe, too targeted. Someone had tried to kill her, and she knew exactly who it was. The trust she'd placed in Julian had nearly cost her life. The safe haven had become a trap. The betrayal was complete. The sweetest promise had turned deadly. Recovering in the hospital, Sarah told police her story. At first, it seemed unbelievable, a baker poisoning a customer, but her certainty and the details convinced detectives to investigate. They searched the flower pot, finding a stray peanut in the main kitchen. They seized brownies, ingredient containers, and security footage. Lab tests confirmed the brownie was deliberately contaminated. Security footage showed Julian, after hours, slicing open a brownie and adding peanut butter. The evidence was irrefutable. Julian was arrested, his facade shattered. He confessed, blaming resentment over the parking lot argument. He claimed he only meant to scare Sarah, not kill her. The community was stunned. Their trusted baker was a would-be poisoner. The truth was out, and trust was destroyed. The flower pot's legacy was forever tainted. Julian Croft faced severe legal consequences. Convicted and sentenced, his bakery closed for good. The crime sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the sense of safety the flower pot once offered. Other bakeries faced new scrutiny. Allergy sufferers grew anxious and wary. The incident exposed how fragile trust can be and how easily it can be broken. For Sarah, recovery was slow. Physical wounds healed, but trust was harder to rebuild. The man she trusted had tried to kill her. Her safe space was gone. Anxiety and fear replaced her brief sense of freedom. The story became a cautionary tale in the food industry, a reminder of the immense responsibility behind every promise of safety. It showed how personal resentment can escalate into tragedy. Ultimately, it was a story about the fragility of trust and the duty of care owed to every customer. For Sarah, and many like her, eating would never feel safe again. The sweetest promises can hide the bitterest betrayals. And sometimes, the greatest danger comes from those we trust the most.